Welcome back to our MLB 30 for 30 preview videos. I'm Justin St. Peter.
And I'm Michael Hoeflinger.
Today we're talking about the Detroit Tigers, and we still don't have a slide behind us.
Yep, good old technology at Whitewater and Residence Life. Oh well, we'll get them eventually.
Yep, the Tigers have probably, arguably, the best rotation in the major leagues, 1 through 5.
Yep, they got 2 Cy Young candidates to go 1 and 2. A couple-time winner Justin Verlander, and then last year's winner Max Scherzer behind him. I don't know which one they can go 1-2 either way. That's going to be a ace. They got 2 aces on a team.
Yeah, and you could argue that Anibal Sanchez could be an ace on a few teams as well. So they technically have 3 aces.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. Justin Verlander had a down year, and he still had great numbers and was in the running for Cy Young last year.
Yep, and Max Scherzer put up career numbers, phenomenal numbers, and may not even be the number 1 opening day starter for him.
That says a lot. He led the major leagues in wins last year, and he might be the number 2 on his own team.
Yes, that's really impressive. And Rick Porcello is a 4. I mean, he's probably a 2 on most teams. This team is going to have some quality pitching, and they don't really need it because their lineup is pretty good too.
Yeah, Anibal Sanchez, we haven't talked about him yet. He, like I said, he could be an ace on most teams. They signed him to a multi-year deal. Incredible numbers as well. They had to trade Doug Fister, who could be a solid 2-3 on many teams, for pennies in the dollar to make sure Drew Smyly had a spot, who was another young pitcher for them that looked like he had MLB good quality pitcher potential last year.
Yeah, that's how much they think of him if they trade Doug Fister to make room for him. I mean, they're very confident in this pitching rotation.
And I can definitely see why. I just hope there's no injuries because they traded their depth at the starting pitching spot.
Yeah, and their bullpen is equally as impressive. They finally got a closer. That was their biggest struggle the last couple of years, was they just couldn't close out games. But now they got Joe Nathan, very proven, consistent closer that is going to nail down a lot of games for you.
Yep, and to go along with Joe Nathan, they have Al Albuquerque. Besides having one of the greatest names in baseball, he has one of the fastest pitches in baseball as well. His fastball is registered about 100 all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They have Bruce Rondon. They have Java Chamberlain, who they just got from the Yankees. Their bullpen is really good.
Yep, Java coming off Tommy John surgery. I'll know that because of his new tattoo that we had. It's got a little smiley face right here where makes a nice smiley face because of the scar.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool story. But, yeah, they have their pitching. You better score a lot of runs, and it won't happen against this team. So you better win close games against them, and that might not be possible because their lineup's so good.
Yes, I mean, they did trade Prince Fielder this offseason, but they got their leadoff hitter they desired as well, and Ian Kinsler. What do you think of that?
I think Prince is going to thrive a lot better with the Rangers than he will with the Tigers. They have a lot better hitter-friendly park here. Mm-hmm. But Ian Kinsler is a complete player, and he really helps this team. We've been in need of a leadoff hitter for a while.
And an infielder with range.
Yes. Their defense will definitely improve this year.
Yes. Then they also got Torrey Hunter, a Gold Glove outfielder for many years. Definitely reaching the back end of his career, but still can put up good, solid numbers, and is going to be a solid defender for him.
Yeah, he's moved to right field now that he's a lot older, but he was one of the best center fielder defenders in the game for many, many years. Still a solid bat. Hopefully he'll last through the whole season. I think he had a little bit of injury problems. But he's also part of one of the most famous pictures in the MLB playoff history last year with the policeman in Fenway.
Yep. Then you move on to the 2-time MVP, Miguel Cabrera.
Triple Crown winner last year. The only bad thing you can really say about him is he has no speed and he's a terrible defender.
Yeah, but makes up for it with the bat. He doesn't need to do that. You got to have this guy in any lineup. He's batting third in any lineup he plays in.
Oh, yeah. They can easily deal with that when you have all-star MVP numbers at that position. They moved him back to first base, which is the right move because he definitely is not a third baseman anymore. Mm-hmm. But just an incredible hitter. Whenever he's at the bat, you have better be worried.
Every pitcher's pitcher's heart rates get really high when he's up to bat. I mean, do you contemplate walking him?
I mean, he's leading the league in intentional walks, or at least in the top the last few years, because he's such a threat behind the plate.
Yeah. Well, one question mark is he doesn't have Prince Fielder behind him anymore. Prince Fielder has batted behind the league MVP the last 3 years in a row, and Ryan Braun was the league MVP. Logan Meyer.
Yes, he was. And he does not have him protecting him anymore, but he still has a very solid protecting bat behind him in Victor Martinez. Not the greatest average, but he'll give you that power again.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of like Prince. I don't think he's not the same Prince Fielder, but, I mean, he is still going to supply the power hitter threat that bats behind Miggy.
Yep. He used to be a catcher. Now he's exclusively DH because they have a pretty solid catcher behind him. Then, right after that, they have center fielder Austin Jackson.
No longer a leadoff hitter.
Yes, and that's a very good thing because he strikes out a lot.
That's what happens when you strike out. You move down in the lineup, but this guy can go get it in center field, and that's the huge outfield of Comerica Park. This guy tracks him down.
He's a great defender, and he has a lot of power for center fielder. It's not typical. I guess center fielders now are starting to get more power, but a lot of power from this guy.
Yes. Then going back, Alex Avila, probably the smallest catcher in the league, and yet he gets nailed with most pitches I've ever seen on a catcher. The ball just seems to find this guy.
Yes, he's one of the best defensive catchers in the game, though. He's been top. He was an all-star a few years ago. His hitting has kind of started to really struggle, probably due to getting hit all the time.
Yeah, being a catcher. He's a warrior, though.
Yes, he is.
Then Nick Castellanos. They moved Miguel Cabrera over to first base, so they need a third baseman now, and he's the chosen one to be there.
Yeah, he's a young guy one of the few young guys on this team that they're expecting big things from. He is such a huge defensive upgrade over Miguel Cabrera that he'll probably get a win or two alone for this Tigers club.
Yeah, this team needs some better defense than what they had, and Rajay Davis, another guy that's known for his defense too, and his play where he climbed the 12-foot wall in Toronto.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive play. He's been a platoon outfielder for the past few years with a lot of speed. He'll be there again because they're thinking Andy Dirks will play sometime there. More of a solid hitter, not much of a fielder. But whenever they play, they'll have a left field platoon that'll be pretty solid for most teams.
Mm-hmm. And then Iglesias is projected to be, it was going to be their shortstop, but he's injured right now and will probably miss a couple months. So they have Suarez in there right now. But Iglesias, definitely adding a lot more range. Back when they had Miguel Cabrera, Johnny Peralta, and Prince Fielder as three of your infielders, your infield range is very minimal. Now with Ian Kinsler and these new guys, they're just really going to improve their defense tremendously in the infield.
Yeah, they had the worst defense in the major leagues last year. That cost them, I think, 7 or 8 games.
Yep, that's between the defense and the bullpen struggles late in innings. That was their biggest struggle. But yeah, this team is a complete rundown, complete top to bottom. And sorry, Joe Birkland, but I think they're going to finish first in the division. Joe Birkland, beloved White Sox fan, but in Tigers, I think, are just so stacked.
Yes, they are. The Jose Iglesias injury is a big thing because they traded Avisail Garcia to the White Sox on a 3-team deal where Jake Peavy ended up with the Red Sox, and Iglesias was their Red Sox top shortstop prospect that got traded to the Tigers. He's an amazing defender. Omar Vizquel-like range. The bat was a little lacking, but they were projecting him to be their long-term shortstop starter. I think he has stretch fractures in both legs, which is a pretty serious injury. So the question mark will be at short. The only question mark this team's going to have is at shortstop until he gets back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, potential all-stars. Ian Kinsler, almost a lock. Miguel Cabrera, a lock. No question about that. Victor Martinez, maybe.
Austin Jackson, maybe, if he has a good enough year.
Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, locks, as long as they don't struggle mightily. They don't even have to put up that great of numbers, and they're going to make it. Yeah,
the only thing that might take away from them is they might take votes away from themselves.
And Joe Nathan, I think, has a good chance of making it. Probably not going to close the All-Star game, but does have a chance to be a guy that makes it out of a bullpen.
My bold prediction, besides the Tigers winning this division will be pretty competitive this year, but besides them easily winning this division, Their defense will be so much better. Just the fact that Johnny Peralta and Miguel Cabrera are either been traded or moved, along with Prince. Their defense will be a lot better, and Ian Kinslow will be the perfect leadoff bat that they've wanted for a while.
Does Miguel Cabrera win another MVP?
No.
No, I agree. Sorry. Shout out Logan Meyer. Mike Trout, he's your guy. He's going to win the MVP. So Miguel's going to finish second.
I completely agree with that. All right, thank you for watching our Tigers video. We'll have them winning the NL or the AL Central, not the NL. Next up, we'll have
The Minnesota Twins.
Oh boy, thank you.